and the race will be back on.
Yeah, Oliver Gavin has once again led a Grand Prix. He's been doing quite a lot of that in the safety car this year. Mika Häkkinen warming his tyres up, weaving round the circuit in the big Mercedes. Goes Gavin, and the rest of them closing up behind him. Not quite in line astern, but not very far off it. And the race is going to restart, and the race restarts now. In goes the safety car. Häkkinen leads up into turn one. Schumacher right behind him. Fisichella, Barrichello, and then Jorna Lacey. Eddie Irvine is sixth. Fredson is seventh. Ralph Schumacher's got Damon Hill right behind him. And everybody's gone away safely. This time it's Schumacher challenging Mika Häkkinen. He's going to give him a hard time right from the beginning. And he's got, that's where he got a penalty last year under a yellow flag. He's all right this year. And he's really harrying Mika Häkkinen. Is the Finn going to be able to resist the pressure? And the answer, I think, is going to be no. Schumacher's going to lead. He's right in front now. Häkkinen fights back. And through goes Fisichella and Barrichello. That was a bad move by Schumacher, but you can't blame him for trying.
Yes, Barrichello's not going to make that stick, but Schumacher went very deep into the corner. If you look at the angle of his rear wing, he's obviously elected to run low downforce, and that's why he's so fast in a straight line, to give him a lot of overtaking capacity down the two straights. So, but it didn't quite pay off. When he got there, he hadn't got enough grip, hadn't got enough downforce, and ran wide. But he'll come back.
Look, he's been part of and he was testing downforce in both cars in the warm-up this morning.
And that's the Benetton of Wirtz off, running wide in the Gosser curve. Wirtz losing 4 or 5 places. He should be able to recover from there. Shouldn't be any long-lasting damage.
Well, now Michael Schumacher's got to get past Fisichella again, because the Italian is sandwiched in the Benetton between the Ferrari of Michael Schumacher behind him and the McLaren of Mika Häkkinen in front of him. And now, once again, Michael Schumacher is weaving and dodging to try and get past the car in front. This time it's Fisichella, and Mika Häkkinen is making the most of his opportunity to try to break away.
Here comes Schumacher again. Look at the straight line speed he's got, but Fisichella covered it well. Now Fisichella's going to run wide. Schumacher coming up the inside, makes it stick. Schumacher's gone for straight line speed, and it looks as if it's going to pay off.
Nice one, Michael, up into second position in the Ferrari. Now, can he catch? Can he get past Mika Häkkinen? Down to third goes Fisichella. Still a magnificent fourth. It's Rubens Barrichello ahead of Jorna Lacey, who started second on the grid. Eddie Irvine in the second Ferrari is in sixth position. Mika Salo is out of the race after that coming together, and they're working together on Pedro Deniz's car as well. Something to do with the steering, I think. Over the line goes Mika Häkkinen. This is lap 6 out of 71, getting on to 1/10 distance already.
Häkkinen 0.2 of a second faster on that lap. Really, you have to say, like for like, they've been 7-8 tenths a lap faster than the Ferrari all weekend. So Häkkinen now getting into his stride. Schumacher still there, menacing as ever. Coulthard, apparently, we understand from the F1 ITV pit crew, is not reporting any problems. He's up to 14th place.
Yeah, and 14th position is where he started, of course. He's got it all to do now. Lap 6 out of 71. And coming out of the Gosser curve come the leaders, Barrichello and Schumacher.
Well, we've got the Benetton crew out in the pit lane. Presumably that's for Wirtz, who we saw bouncing across the gravel. So Benetton boys expecting one of their cars to come in, and we understand it is definitely for Alexander Wirtz. There's Salo. Remember, 6th place on the grid. A great drive in the wet qualifying, out of the race already.
But look at this. Schumacher now has clawed his way up to the rear wing of Mika Häkkinen's McLaren again, nearly. It's a couple of cars' length, but he's much closer. And those two are pulling away from Fisichella. The fastest man on the track is Michael Schumacher, and he's just gone round in 1 minute 14.8, compared with the lap record of 1:11.8. And of course, they've still got a comparatively heavy fuel load, even in this race, which is going to be a series of sprints. We're expecting 1 tyre stop, possibly 2.
Ooh, Schumacher seriously late on the brakes there. Michael Schumacher really on an incredible charge. 0.6 of a second faster than Häkkinen on the last lap. And look at him in the slipstream already. And Mika covering the line. Michael's going to try the outside again. I don't think you'll get away with it this time. But he's tucking back in.
And he's going to try and come through on the inside. Remember, he's got this low downforce. If he can stay with Häkkinen until they come out of turn 8 at the start of the finish straight, he will be in a good position to sprint past for turn 1 at the start of the 8th lap. They're coming through on lap 7 now. And Schumacher pushing. The red Ferrari big in the mirrors of the McLaren. Now this is the Jochen Rindt curve. Then there is the A1 curve. Now this is where Schumacher can attack if he's close enough. He's not close enough at the present moment though. Watch him. It'll be really late braking by both of them.
He's too far behind. Murray won't come in from that distance behind. But again, 0.3 of a second faster on that lap. Remember, there's an appeal tomorrow over the Silverstone debacle at the end where Schumacher won the race when he went through the pit lane and served his penalty after the race had finished. That happens tomorrow. There may be a points reversal. Somehow I doubt it. So Michael Schumacher's got a race for it today, and Häkkinen defending his World Championship lead.
Yeah, it's a 3-car race at the moment. Häkkinen, Schumacher and Fisichella, who's hanging on well. And Fisichella is some 4 seconds ahead, 5 seconds ahead of Rubens Barrichello, who's hanging on magnificently in the Stewart. This is Fisichella, pole position holder in the Benetton with the Playlife V10 engine. And you can see the gap now between himself and double world champion Michael Schumacher. There he was as Häkkinen accelerates out of the corner. Tremendous stuff this. And we are now on the 1/10 distance lap. Just over 1/10 distance. We're on lap 8 out of 71 as they exit the turn. There is the start and finish grid. Now, this time, Schumacher is a bit closer, but not close enough still. He needs to be right under the rear wing of Mika Häkkinen, and he's getting closer, but that was on Häkkinen's braking. Obviously, Häkkinen, being in front, had to brake just marginally earlier than Michael Schumacher.
Well, it would be easy to say that they're on different fuel strategies, but the difference between a 2-stop and a 1-stop is only about 15 kilos, say 22 litres of fuel. So I really don't think that's the reason why Michael's homing in. I think he's just really attacking the course harder than Mika Häkkinen at this stage of the race.
Tremendous pressure.
Here he goes again. Mika covering the line. He's sort of pretty much putting it down the middle of the track. I thought Michael might have a stab up the inside there. I think Häkkinen second-guessed him very well there.
Now, bad luck for Rubens Barrichello. He was running 4th. He's come into the pits. We haven't seen why. We're concentrating on this battle for the lead, obviously. And what a battle. The 2 World Championship contenders. They've both won 4 races this year. And Rubens Barrichello retires from the Austrian Grand Prix after a terrific start from 5th position after running in 4th place. Very disheartening for the team. And his teammate Jos Verstappen is in 13th place over the line. Now Schumacher is a bit closer this time, but it's the run up from turns 5 to 3 that turns 2 to 3 that Schumacher attacks, and they're approaching turn 2 now. So watch out for another try by the German.
I tell you, if Michael ever gets his braking point slightly wrong, he's going to hit the back of Häkkinen so hard. He is really totally committed to those braking areas.
Now this is it. This is where Schumacher goes for it. Coming down to turn 3, they're doing 185 miles an hour here. He dodges and dives and weaves and turns, but Häkkinen knows exactly what's happening. He can put his car in exactly the right place. Out of the Gerser curve, down to the Lauda curve, 170 miles an hour. You can see Fisichella, he's got a watching brief there. He's doing the best he can, and he is now 1.4 seconds behind this battle.